And just like every good thing that comes to an end, the folks at Clara.io are shutting down. Now, if you've always wanted to go to a place where you can find free 3D models long before the advent of places like Sketchfab, free3d.com, and a whole lot of others that we've covered on the channel, Clara.io was that place. And the beautiful thing about Clara.io is the fact that you can download free 3D models, you can model things in here, animate them, and render using V-Ray totally for free. We did cover a video about this sometime about 2-3 years ago, but it is sad to see that they are shutting down in the coming days. And for those who are looking for free 3D stuff, you can simply go over to the link in the description that I'll bring you right here, where you can search through the long list of free 3D models that you can get, from vehicles to persons, combat, sci-fi, architecture, and a whole lot of other things. You will definitely find a 3D model that resonates to what you're trying to create. I guess the advent of lots of other tools and also platforms might have buried this website, but the whole idea that this was a huge potential tool that lots of people actually used at a certain time makes it even worth it. And if you go all the way down, you would also see that there's a good number of movies that did take advantage of this tool at one point or the other. And for those who are wondering how do you get to make models with this, of course there are wonderful ways that you can. So for you to make a model, you need to go over to the login section and log in. And once you log in, this gets presented to you. You can choose to accept or deny the terms of service, which will set you all the way back. But then if you choose to accept it, then you need to accept the terms of service, which totally says that if you're using a basic plan, you can make models for free and use them for non-commercial projects. And right here, you can do lots of things. If we simply click on the new scene and go over here and create an empty scene, and I choose to put a name to the scene, it could be literally anything. You can select the type of render that you want, and you can select what kind of access you would like to give this. And once you're done with that, click on the word create and you can start creating stuff. And once this opens, how you create 3D models, for those who are interested about creating 3D models with this, is as simple as clicking on any of the primitives that you want. Use your middle mouse button to upbeat. If you hold on Control and your middle mouse button, you can pan. There's a lot of tools that you can work with. If you go over to the model section, you'd notice you have a couple of tools that exist right here, and you can play with both the transformers and the component tools. And how you make models with this is very easy. So for example, if you go over to the face mode, of course you can select several faces. If you tap W on the keyboard, you can push this all the way up, and you can also tap E on the keyboard to rotate, R on the keyboard as well if you like to translate. So it's very similar to what you have with Autodesk product. And in terms of selecting edges, or surfaces, of course you can select the edge, you can throw in some connectors, and we can do one more. I love the idea that this actually supports camera-based selection, and with this we can select one section, select another one, and do some very nice extrusion. So let's go ahead and extrude this real quick. So we can extrude that all the way down. Now let's throw in a symmetry. Unlike some other tools that you get to work with where you can really find your way back, this offers the option of going way back and seeing what you've done before. So we can actually turn off the extrusion if we want. You can turn that back on. You can turn off the connection if you want, and you can turn that back on. So depending on what you want, it kind of works semi-procedurally. So you get to find everything that you're working on, or how you get to work with these things step by step in a very wonderful hierarchy. So we can also go ahead and rotate this to 90. We can collapse this and make this one simple mesh. This is an equivalent to what you have when you apply all your modifiers in Blender, or when you get to delete your history when working in Maya. And in terms of light, the lighting tools that exist here are pretty interesting. So if you go over to create, there are lots of things you can create from the poly mesh section, and from the lighting you can create standard lights or V-Ray light. Clara.io supports V-Ray, but currently that doesn't seem to be the case. In terms of helper, there's a couple of helpers that you can get. You can also go to the shape section and find a couple of shapes. And if you're thinking about putting on text, or you want to put a text here, you can click on the text section, throw in a text if you want. You can set that and you can proceed with it. In terms of lighting, like we mentioned earlier, if you go over to the create section, you can throw in a V-Ray dome light. I did notice something since the announcement, or probably this has been happening, but I haven't confirmed if the problem is from me or if it is a general thing. V-Ray normally works on this page, but it seems like it has sort of stopped with the whole announcement coming in. So the V-Ray thing is no longer available right here, but of course you have options of creating amazing models if you're looking at making those. And for lighting, there is also a very good lighting setup that exists. If you go over to render, go all the way to lighting preset, you can get the 3-point lighting system, which you can use. So we can grab that. The 3-point lighting system is currently a very nice one, which you can use to do some very cool stuff. And if you like to add materials, of course, you can play with the materials that exist here. You can throw in anyone. And if you also go over to the rendering section, you'd also be able to render with WebGL. So WebGL is also another rendering tool that is available, but for some reason, the WebGL isn't also rendering. And that is just one of the things that I think is coming with the whole idea of shutting down. Clara.io is scheduled to shut down on December the 31st of 2022. And for those who like to come through and download content that they have here, or probably download tons of content that they can totally get for free, then this might just be the time for you to do that. Clara.io was an amazing tool when it lasted, and it is still an amazing tool for those who might want to explore with it before the 31st of December 2022. It's very sad to see that this platform is going, and I think this is happening due to the rise of platforms and tools like Blender, Sketchfab, CG Trader, and also free3d.com, and a couple of other ones that we've covered on the channel during the Free Fridays. So this is more like it. For those who would like to take a look at all of this, links to this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.